Welcome to the fifth Leadership Summit of IIM Raipur, based on the theme New Horizons of Indian Business March Towards the 100 Years of Indian Independence. My name is Palak Ahuja, and I am from Media and Public Relations Committee of IIM Raipur. Today, we are extremely honored to have with us our esteemed guest, Mr. Ganesh Kalyanaraman, who is the center head for Cognizant in Chennai and heads global delivery for PR business of Cognizant globally. Good evening, sir, and welcome to IIM Raipur 5th Leadership Summit. So, we hope you had great discussion on the panel's topic. Could you please share your experience with us?
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, and thanks for this opportunity. Hope you are safe and your family is safe. Maybe a quick couple of minutes about myself. Team, pleasure meeting you all virtually. I think that word virtual is more prevalent in last 19 months. This is my 21st year with Cognizant, first and fourth company. Joined as a trainee way back in 1995, and it's been a tremendous journey that I had with Cognizant, and now I'm in a situation where adopting digital technologies, helping clients to really drive their digital wave, and through that to meet all of you in the prior forum on panel discussion. It was exciting because I see you are all going to be the part of the future and driving a lot of value. Coming to my experience, obviously I cherish talking to students who are really looking at a career in front of them. I would say they will go through many crossroads in the next couple of years. Should I take this industry, take that industry? I would say take something that's closer to your passion. You might not hit your passion right from day one, but you can shape your career aligned to your passion, right? Because there is not going to be just one passion. Passion evolves as you mature, as you really achieve some of the milestones you set it up for that. And the reason why I always excited to talk to students coming out of both technical school and the management graduation school is they think much ahead of the curve than us, and they make us really innovate as we speak. Some of the questions I always had from them made me think, and even if I have to take the way I have to adopt to a leadership style with a person who is 20 years experience in my team to a person who is 20 days experience is very different, and my ability to listen varies between both these set of associates and leaders, and my ability to really encourage and motivate also varies. So it's an ongoing learning that I go through. So that's why these sessions and panel discussion with students are always not only a learning for them, it's a learning for people like me. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, in consumers' perspective, every business whom they relate, so how can they be sure that the data is kept private and used wisely?
Couple of things. Security of our data depends on how disciplined we are. In the social world, we have a habit of clicking every link that we get. I would say we should stop that. We should open, pause, read, and open the links only from very reputed organization. Let it be banks, retailers, various organizations that you deal with. Number one. Number two, beware of phishing attacks, right? That keeps coming in, asking for your personal details. Another one, always look for that. Three, attention to details. It is your hard-earned money or your parents' hard-earned money. Before even clicking a link, think about that, then you will be more conscious. Last but not the least, I would say, whichever gadget you use, make it a reliable one. If it is a desktop or a laptop or this one, let's ensure the latest antivirus is available, because a lot of these phishing and malwares are caught, so that your device doesn't get corrupted. So that's what I would recommend. It's all about self-discipline, and a little bit of that care rather than rushing into it would always help. But how the organization are also gaming for it is, as long as you deal with a reputed organization, they are governed by various local governments, which I say government is country, right? Country level data security policies. India has one of the robust one. If you take Europe, they have GDPR. That's going to be very, very critical and prevalent. North America has its own. So everybody who is storing any form of data has to be really following those guidelines. Those guidelines are not only enforced by the organization, but also the cloud partners like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. So if you take an utility customer, their ability to move everything to cloud is limited because in US they are regulated. They cannot store data away from their premises. So they have to have private cloud. If you take a retailer, they can move everything to cloud, that's fine. They can, but they are governed by the security. So each industry has its security norm. Each country has its own security governance, data governance framework. As long as it's adapted and as long as we have a discipline of working with only reputed organization, then shouldn't be a problem.
So, sir, talking about adoption of new technologies, early adopter versus late starters. So, how does an organization future depend on both scenarios?
So, let's wave it in both sides. Early adoption makes you to be that organization brings the right things to the consumer right way for the first time. If I take North America, Uber, which is also in India now, they adopted the technology, picked it up, everything. If you take India in the pandemic situation, Swiggy, Zomato, all of them are catching up. While we have seen the success side of the story, there are a lot who have also failed, right? Because they didn't learn the failure points, if I have to call, in the right way and put that in the business model. So that is a kind of a situation on the early adopter. But if you take the Fortune 200 or a Fortune 500 organization who can't be as fast as a Swiggy or a Uber, we are all adapting the best of the best in the industry, right? If you do an organization, a big retailer in North America, if you go and ask him, will you launch a product in 3 months that will be a game changer for your business model, they will think thrice. Because you can't do that drastically because it risks your business. So those kind of Fortune 200 organization or Fortune 500, what they will do is they will wave in all the risk elements. They will learn from the mistakes that the early adopters did and adapt it in the right way. So overall, I would say there is a pros and cons in both ways. But as long as we know the right failure points and take care of that and mitigate it, I think things will fall in place.
So this digital transformation affects every part of consulting work and changing the nature of deliverables. So with the outbreak of pandemic, what is the biggest change that the IT consultants there has faced?
So in an IT consultant, let's segregate them as technology consultant and a business consultant. Okay. I will talk about business consultant, which is more relevant to you. So earlier days, the business consultant will come in, sometimes be industry specific or sometimes be technology specific and provide the value to define the business process, business requirements and drive into functional requirements. Today, the need of the hour is every business consultant has to master in one industry or the other. Why I'm using the word other is the lines between industries is also blurring. For example, many of the CPG organizations are becoming a retail organization on their own. The line between a manufacturing and a retailer is also blurring, right? Line between an utility and an EV supplier is also blurring. So like that, there is a lot of the industry are merging on its own, okay, with the need. So business consultants, the biggest change is more and more industry specific value. That's something. Number two, as I said in the panel discussion, earlier in business consultants can live with Excel or a mind map. Today, it's better that they learn certain elements of certain technologies. You don't have to master it, but at least have that 101 knowledge where when a client talks about, I want to set up a digital commerce platform, what all will be there? There will be a CRM platform. There will be a voice network. There will be a data lake. As long as you understand the pieces and certain technologies around the pieces, you will be able to ask the right questions to the client to get a point of view and give your point of view. Last but not the least, the pandemic broke boundaries. So wherever you are, you can master the skill that you want to be, because the digital world and the virtual world has given that ability. And last but not the least, let's not live in the pandemic world forever, because what I have seen is any industry, and more the industry we are in, human connect is the vital piece that improves your soft skill, behavioral skill, and the learning curve that you go through. That, post pandemic, some of us have to adapt it again. That's my point of view. Over to you.
So, could you tell us the best advice that you have received from someone and it's still engraved in your mind?
No, it's very, very critical, right? One is, when I joined Cognizant, it was called as Dun & Bradstreet Satyam Software. I joined as a mainframe developer. At the time, technologies like Power Builder and Visual Basic were sought after technologies, and people were telling me you are a mainframe technologist, what it is, and all those things. But when I took advice from my mentor, and I always carried a mentor with my career and even in my personal life, both inside Cognizant and outside Cognizant, is that person said, as long as you have a willingness to learn, you can learn anything, don't worry, and keep learning. And that continued because I was working as a developer, then as a technical lead, project manager. Then I went to the commercial role as a client partner. Then I went into an organization after I left Cognizant, in between continuing in delivery. Then I was doing marketing and business development, came back to Cognizant, established a unit in continental Europe. So I was doing variety of role. In each of these roles, there is a learning on the technical side, learning on the soft skill side, learning on the behavioral side. So the fundamental learning I went through is, are you ready to adapt to yourself? That's a fundamental learning. Then whatever is required above it to build your career is what I'm learning. Yes, I would say I plateaued a bit in, say, 2013 to 2016, but then the break of digital era told me that my value in the industry is diminishing without learning the digital curve. That's when I started getting my cloud certification or some of the CRM products that's out there, double clicking on what the client wants. So in a nutshell, learning is, we can't stop learning. It's a lifelong learner attitude is what we need to add. And that's something I cherish even today, because every conversation I learn something, every interaction I learn something. That's how I live. Over to you.
Yes. So, sir, I'd like to thank you for all the insights that you have shared, and I'd like to thank you so much for taking time for this interview. And we'd definitely like to host you at our campus really soon.
Absolutely glad to visit you all and maybe have some informal, IT kind of a session, chip chat, another one. Thanks for the opportunity. All of you be safe, study well, and industry is ready to welcome you with both hands. Just have that open mind that makes you to adapt to a situation. You will all rock and roll. With that, all the very best and be safe.
Thank you, sir.